So why is a coach do that? I think it's emotion. I think they have that pressure of, especially someone that wants to move up or like think they're going to be the coach. When it's about them, I think that's when they, you know, the expectations are so high. Like you can't make a mistake because it makes me look bad. That's a big one. I think like you can't screw up or else you're going to lose this game. Like to me, that's some of the biggest ones there.
Yeah, you basically hit what I was saying. So I was going to say for my own list, I was going to say ego, of course, right? That's the summary word. The other one that you didn't mention was like, yeah, pressure if you want to move on and as a coach, whatever, but then just pressure from like parent. We talked about this the other week, like parent pressure or pressure from your organization or being at bigger tournaments or whatever. Like you can start to cave to that a little bit and feel like it's, you know, it changes your decision making because of the pressure that you have. But like one of the things that I find is like I was saying this to you today, like man, you look at the rankings. I was saying to you today, like I'm getting sucked into the rankings, right? And that's just honest. Like
yeah,
that's
listen, I'll stick up for you, man. You're this is our second year program, and last year it was so put it together so quick that we did great last year. But now we have teams and good players. We're competing, and now your expectations now is like, no, we have really good hockey here. We can win, and that's now you're saying no. You're looking at teams that you played and should have beaten. You go, okay, now it kind of means something to you, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And so that's my ego part of it.
That's your
right?
ego, 100%.
And so like I'm coming in like, okay, we have, and it's not just my own team. It's like all three of the teams. It's like we actually have good teams, and we can win. And I want that because it's notoriety for the program. It's notoriety for the individual players, potentially getting more guys drafted or looked at or invited to camps or invited to schools or whatever, right? And all that stuff is an ego thing for me personally. And I can feel myself, I'm not going to say like caving to that because I'm not caving to it, but I can feel myself feeling like it's important, you know?
So you might be feeling like, okay, let's say just a number, you're ranked 15th. And I don't even want to look at those rankings. So, but you're ranked 15th and you played a team, you know that if you win one or two against these higher seeded teams, you move up to 14 or 13 or 12 or whatever. And you might have 15 kids in there that don't even know that exists. Yeah. Or they don't care, or they can't figure it out.
And it's perception, right? Because people do check. So it's like for me, that is helpful to have that. So that's a motivator. But I still have enough self-awareness to be able to step back and remember what the point is of what we're doing. Like how much does it matter how high we're ranked? It actually doesn't matter that much. Like it brings a certain level, I guess, but it's not the biggest thing in the world because my goal is making sure I'm developing the kids to go on to whatever opportunity they want. So as that, I guess my point of that is if you can find a trigger, some kind of trigger that can help you to step back and remember like the broader goal. Again, this is assuming that you are aligned with our mindset of like we want development stuff first, and like I'm not trying to be the next NHL coach, man. So like if I win or lose, it's not like a hugely impactful for me personally, you know, but it means something for the program and those things. So I have those motivators. But as a coach, I have to be able to step back and remember what the goal is. So if I can find some kind of a trigger for myself, which I do, I have some, and other people can find one for them that helps them to step back and remember like what that bigger picture is, then that'll kind of help you keep yourself in check and not get slipping into the overcoaching, yelling and screaming on the bench, getting way too involved. Because you've said this best, like when you're, especially in the games, like when you're coaching in the game, you're coaching the guys that are on the bench, not the guys that are on the ice. And it's so the opposite. Like I was watching a game here the other day, and I don't know what level it was. Maybe it was a AA game or whatever. And the head coach had like leg up on the top of the boards, right? He was standing on the bench and had one leg on the boards, and he's like yelling and screaming and pointing.
Some kids poor fucking head.
Right? And like, who are you talking to? Right? Like little Timmy that's out there can't hear you, man. Right? Or all he hears is a yell, but he doesn't know what the words are that you're saying.
Concentrating on making a play. Well, think about this, like, because when I play the games with the kids, like when we do the kids, they're bigger than me, but we do like 2 nets north or something like that, and I get a rim, like still pretty good.
Yeah.
No, but what you just made me think of it because I had a rim coming to me today, like a pretty good pace on it, and I knew I had a couple guys coming towards me, so I knew number one, most important thing right now is to make sure I don't bobble the rim, right? So I handled the rim, then I had pressure, So I had to get out of it. Actually, Beckham goes, I tried to get that puck from me. He goes like, and I laughed. I said, I'm no good anymore though. Wait till you play against good hockey players. But anyways, if I just took that little thing, I'm a coach, man. Who gives a shit, right? If I was taking that rim, but it was for our team to win. If I bobble that rim, then right. So if I have a coach yelling at me at the same time, and I could hear him say, "Get it out," or whatever, it's like just relax. This is one of the hardest things to do in hockey is take a rim, right? So like, yeah,
Well, and on the bench, kind of to that point, on the bench when I'm coaching, like another thing that again, like for whatever it's worth, I'm not saying I'm the best coach ever, just stuff that I do. I'll point out things that are happening on the ice to the guys on the bench. So, easy example would be a face-off, right? Like we have certain face-off plays that we run, and I'll say, "Okay, like in real time, we're lined up for the face-off." I'll say, "Hey, watch this guy. See if he runs his right route, or let's watch our set here and make sure that things are set up." Or maybe somebody wasn't set. Like one thing I do with my centerman is it's their job to make sure everybody's set up, right? Everybody needs to know where they're supposed to go. But if the centerman looks around and somebody's in the wrong spot,
yeah,
fix it.
yeah. He's a
You know?
quarterback.
And so sometimes I'll point that out. I'll be like, "Guys, this guy was not in the right spot. Why are you not?" And I'll say it to the guys that are on the bench, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'll go for a good snap every once in a while, but like I'm relatively calm, like on the bench. I'm not like yelling and screaming and losing my shit all the time because I'm just talking to these guys that are right here, right? I'm just talking right here. Then the odd time I'll start screaming. The only time I consistently scream is on the PK where I'm yelling go because we're running our 3-go. But outside of that, like I'm relatively not a yeller and screamer, and that's helpful for me because I give myself a task. Like my task is I have my themes for the game. I want to communicate those things to these kids that are here. So when they go out, those things are reinforced. And then if there's something I see, it's these kids that are on the bench. I'm going to point it out. Then if a guy comes off the ice, like I can give them a mention quick. But most of the time they know like they didn't do the right thing here or there because we're further enough or we're far enough into the season where they understand that. But those things kind of help keep me kind of checked because I can feel myself getting into it, right? And overdoing it. And like it's so funny because I look at some of our guys, like some of our guys are really good, man. And it's like
There's some great hockey players there.
what am I gonna like? It's like you said, an offensive zone where they can just go play. It's like, what am I gonna correct? Like, what am I gonna tell you to not make this play and make that play instead? Like, go play. Like, you guys are good. Like, you guys are better than me.
So
like,
you got that. And there's maybe something that I've been looking for something like where overcoaching could be a thing. So like, yeah, if you're saying make an exact play, that's you should have done this, make an exact play. So like, I think what you want to do is you teach in concepts. Like you got the structure, but teaching concepts. So like, let's say on a forecheck and you're down low on a forecheck in a corner and it's a scramble and nothing's really happening. So like maybe one way to release pressure from that would be like as either you can call it out as a player or should just know that once there's some pressure there could have a long cycle down low, like a rim almost, like just to change sides to relieve some of that pressure. So maybe that's a concept where it doesn't have to be overcoaching where you're explaining all this shit, and when you could just say relieve the pressure, throw it to the other side, like we do a rim, like a half rim or a rim, just get right. So it's like a concept. Pressure's here, so how do we move the pressure? Move it here, and because if we're a step ahead, we already know what we're doing.
yeah,
right.
Yeah. This maybe is like it's related, but maybe a little off topic. But another thing that we've talked about this a lot is it's so easy as the staff you can start to slip into like the hyper negative, like everything is shit, like kids are shit, they're shit, this is shit, and like going down that thread a lot. Reminded me of this point is sometimes I'll ask our guys to do a certain thing, like we're running a certain type of system, whatever, and we get burned on it still, right? Where like they'll go down and score, or there'll be a turnover or something, but I'll still reinforce the that they did the right thing, like they did what I asked, and sometimes it just doesn't work, or like you get cooked on or whatever. Whereas a lot of times, like you see this very frequently, is like the coach, because something went wrong, it's like all of a sudden you flip to like Mr. Negative guy, and you're carving them for they missed this, they bobbled that, they made a bad pass, whatever. Instead of, hey, like we can shake that one off because you actually executed what I asked. It just didn't happen. And like being humble enough as the coach to just take the L when you get the L, right? Like sometimes I'll call something or I'll tell them to do something, and I got outplayed or I got outcoached on the other side or they made a better play than we did or whatever it is. And like, I got to be able to take that L too. It's not just always my player's fault or like this guy's fault or that guy's fault. Like sometimes it's my fault, and making sure that you're not just jumping on the hater bandwagon because it's easy to be negative and point out all the negative things that are going on. Like, remember you're saying this about Dalton Prout when he's scouting. He was saying like it's so easy to find the negative.
That's what you're looking
right?
for.
And
What's not good, yeah.
Yeah, you have to try to find the positive things, and like that's actually part of the coaching deal as well, right? So if I flip it now to more like the player perspective on the question, talk a little bit about if you're in the situation as the coach where you're doing the overcoaching thing, how does that impact the player now? So like where does your mind go on like why is that such a negative why is that such a negative thing for your team or for your players when you get kind of on that side of the fence as a coach? So where does your mind go with that and how it can impact the players that are being affected by it?
In youth hockey, it's like, see, in pro hockey, it's a different thing, or even major junior college and stuff, it's a different thing because everyone's got consequences for not executing, right? But even to that point, you're going to overcoach sometimes. It's just like, you're allowed to you have to allow mistakes. You have to, but it's just the nattering. That's all it is. That's all you are. It's like, listen to Charlie Brown after a while. You just got this voice going for every reason. And that's, I guess maybe that sums it up is like, the more you say, the less I hear, right? You know what I mean? Like, so I really like your strategy of like 2 to 3 things that you're focusing on. Let's focus on those things, and then it's like a laser focus, so like you're not getting all over the place, right? So I think it's just like too many words. I just do not hear you speak so loudly. I don't hear what you're saying. So like, if you said less, but it actually meant something, well, it might all mean something. But if you said less, I probably hear what you're going to say.